Tonight on the Black Channel. Well, after all these years, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are finally here to tell us all what they have done specifically for black people. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, yes, sir, brothers and sisters everywhere here, the burning question. The question that has been plaguing, the question that has been vexing us for so long here. And now, in Philadelphia, earlier this week, there was a campaign stop. The pain train has come through Philadelphia there, apparently. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have come. And clearly all of their spinmeisters and all of their analysts and all these people have let them know, obviously, Houston, there is a problem. They have obviously let them know there is an issue. And that black vote is a problem. So they sat up here and had their little rally. Emphasis on the word little. And I want to play for you what they had to say. I want you to hear for yourselves. And of course, as usual, I put myself through the agony of doing so that you are not necessarily required to do so. But boy, they start off with little old Kamala Harris. She's first up on deck to tell you all what it is. And fair warning, if you didn't bring your Pepto-Bismol, you should have. I got mine. But in any case, start off with Kamala Harris, and this is going to be a slow one tonight, so you have been forewarned.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I want to thank Robert Nix for your leadership and for those very kind words and all you do for our country. And I want to thank all the incredible leaders who are here with us today. In particular, our young leaders. It is so good to see you all. I also want to thank the members of the Congressional Black Caucus who are with us this afternoon.
What? All right.
And everyone else, thank you for being here. So, in 2020, Black voters in Philadelphia and across our nation helped President Biden and me win the White House.
So you see how we begin, as they always do. She didn't recognize people of color. She didn't recognize Asians. She didn't recognize LGBT. She shows up here. It's black people, and this is the way this little bait and switch garbage they've always done has gone down. They always start off by mentioning us and acknowledging our existence. They start off that way. Now, how long do you think it's going to be before you hear that? And they go swerving into people of color and black and brown. Let's see.
Yes, you did. And in 2024, With your voice and your power, we will win again. Philadelphia, in Joe Biden, we have a fighter, a leader with skill, vision, determination, and compassion.
And dementia.
A leader who keeps his promises.
And his depends.
As a candidate for president, Joe Biden gave his word that we would fight to address some of the biggest issues facing the Black community, and we have delivered.
Did you all just hear that? Joe Biden promised that we would address the biggest issues facing the Black community. And we have done that. People, this is not from 3 years ago. This is from a few days ago here. She is saying, oh, we have addressed the biggest issues facing the Black community. Black community now. You notice they keep harping on that Black thing all of a sudden.
Very kind words and all you do for our country. And I want to thank all the incredible leaders who are here with us today. In particular, our young leaders. It is so good to see. Black voters in Philadelphia and across our nation helped President Biden and me win the White House. Yes, you did. And in 2024, with your voice and your power, we will win again. Philadelphia, in Joe Biden, we have a fighter, a leader with skill, vision, determination, and compassion. A leader who keeps his promises. As a candidate for president, Joe Biden gave his word that we would fight to address some of the biggest issues facing the Black community, and we have delivered.
I am delivered. So you all just heard that from her mouth, in her own words. I played it for you twice. So nobody can say that we took this out of context. I'm playing the words, and she just said, we promised to address some of the biggest issues facing Black folk, and we have delivered. So, of course, what she's saying is that Black America is now a fundamentally improved and different place. It's not sitting right where it was 4 years ago and she's doing victory laps, right? It's not doing that, right? I can't wait to hear this itemized list from her of all the things they've done.
In 2020, Joe Biden and I vowed that we would lower the cost of health care like insulin. For far too many years, too many of our seniors with diabetes had to make the awful decision about either filling their prescription or paying their rent.
What? Did you all hear that? I mean, they're not just insulting our intelligence anymore. They're kind of just spitting in it and rubbing your face. We face the biggest issues some of the biggest issues facing Black people. Insulin. So in other words, anything you do for America, well, see, Black folk, that was for you. Right there, that was for you. Did you see that damn bait and switch right there? With biggest issue for Black America, and then with a straight damn face, she launches off into talking about insulin. Well, yes, this is for everybody, but, we especially meant it for you. She literally just sat here and said that with a straight damn face. And then they sit up here and keep playing it.
Issues facing the Black community, and we have delivered. In 2020, Joe Biden and I vowed that we would lower the cost of health care like insulin. For far too many years, too many of our seniors with diabetes had to make the awful decision about either filling their prescription or paying their rent. And Black Americans are 60% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes. So we capped the cost of insulin for our seniors at $35 a month.
Not a word about that core causes thing. Don't worry about that. And of course, we'll see, you're more likely to use it. So you see, this was for you. What a damn insult. What a damn insult. They don't talk to Asians like this about, well, you all are more likely to use this or more likely. There's a lot of you who need this, so this was for everybody, but this really helps you. No, they don't talk to any other people like that. Nobody goes to anybody else and talk about indirect and, well, this indirectly helps you. They talk about how it's going to directly help them. Nobody comes up with this rising tide lifting all boats and indirect benefit garbage till they show up to talk to us. Then all of a sudden it's a list of, well, we did something for everybody, but you should be really happy that we did this for everybody. Yeah, I mean, we did it for everybody, but you should be really happy that we did this in particular, even though it's for everybody.
And under Joe Biden's leadership, finally, we took on Big Pharma and finally gave Medicare the power to negotiate drug prices. We also took on the issue of debt, which makes so many people feel like they can never get ahead. Take, for example, medical debt. We are now making it so medical debt can no longer be included on your credit score.
Now, I will say, okay, that's a good one, but that's not specifically for Black folk, because your medical debt isn't going to be included on your credit score. First of all, that's not a true statement. That statement she just made is false. That statement is untrue. It is not that it won't be included on your credit, but if you pay it, then they have to remove it from your credit and they don't have to wait the 7 years to do so. So first of all, what she's saying is false. It isn't that it doesn't go on your credit, but unlike most other things, if you pay it, then they have to remove it from the credit and they don't have to wait the 7 years. Well, okay, that's significant, but number one, it's not for us, it's for everybody. And number two, Black folks' credit can't really get up where it needs to be when the income can't get up where it needs to be, because going into debt, you have to be in a certain position to be able to go into debt. We're either denied debt or sandbagged with it. So what she's saying is false. I just corrected what the truth is, but even there, that's not a benefit that specifically helps us. What are you going to do to get us in a position where we can borrow money like that?
So that medical debt cannot impact a person's ability to get a car loan, an apartment lease, or a home loan.
Now, did you hear that? More consumer debt. Here, go buy a house that you can't afford and get redlined. Go buy a car that you can't afford. So everything is medical. Here, we got some insulin and we talked to Medicaid and, oh, your medical debt. So y'all know who this is for. This is, oh, he's gonna say it. This is for all them old niggas. Damn! So this is for them. She's coming out the gap talking about you need your diabetes, you need your insulin, you need your blood pressure, Medicare and Medicaid. That's not young people. They talking directly to the old folk. All these people standing behind her, nothing she just said so far applies to them. This is to all the old niggas who can't get their hover rounds to show up at the campaign event. She's talking to them. So they're telling you, oh, you young folk need to show up and get benefits for the people who ain't did nothing for you. This is for all the old niggas. This is for them. This is one big ass travesty. One big ass bait and switch. They said they were going to talk about you and talk to you, and they said your name one time black and then swerved in the other damn direction. So I'm showing you all exactly what the damn game is here. What she's talking about right now, this don't mean nothing to anybody under the age of 60. She's talking about a bunch of old folks. She's trying to say something to get them, okay, look here now, you need to get your old ass up and go to the polls. You might not be here for the next election cycle, but you need to show up so you can screw up this one for your kids and your grandkids. That's what you need to do.
In 2020, we promised to forgive student loan debt.
And all the folks out there who got their, quote, student loan debt forgiven, by the way, how did that help their financial picture? Because you still have a degree you can't do anything with. The reason your student loan debt is a problem is because you got bogus ass useless degrees you couldn't use. And even if you had one that you could use, the job market says white folk first, black folk last. So there's the problem. So the student loan debt is not the issue. That's symbolic. Your useless degree that isn't honored in the capitalist system and isn't honored in the job market. That's the problem. That they will not honor your bachelor's degree or your master's degree in the job market. That's the problem. That you have it, but they're not honoring it. So no, student loan debt is symbolic. All the folks who got it taken off their student loan debt's taken off their credit. By the way, how did that help you? It's not like you were able to move from Decatur to Buckhead. Damn! You can see they paid their asses back there and whatnot. Biden sat up here and put up that old skeletal hand to say, hey, I said chair back there, damn it, niggas. Oh, that was the most mayo, baby. You a Hindu talking about testifying? You are not Baptist. You are not Methodist, baby. Just don't even try that one. Oh, that was the most cringe Karen thing. Did she really just try to say testify? Man, you ain't set foot near no black church. Some Hindu temples, okay. Maybe a Buddhist monastery. Baby, if you don't quit trying to do that one right there. If you don't quit, boy, that was maximum cringe.
Do I see people testifying?
Do I see people testifying? Where the hell is Hillary Clinton when you need her?
Auntie, chill.
Can I get a witness?
Oh, and then she doubled down on it. Can I get a witness? This isn't revival night. This is revulsion night. I mean, then she wouldn't quit. This is what happens when you hang out with people who kiss your ass and just tell they're yes people and they just thumbs up everything you do. Then you go out here in public and do something as cringe as this. Ain't nobody stopping you because you think you hitting. A bunch of yes men and glad-handing ass kissers looking for a job or looking for a photo op next to you. They'll just go along with whatever the hell you say. Nobody say, baby, look here, don't ever try that again. Don't ever say that again. Ever. Nothing says you come from a Hindu temple like you trying to talk like a Baptist. If you don't stop. That is not the way that you or anybody in your family speaks.
Do I see people testifying? Can I get a witness? And I'll tell you, I have a unique position as vice president to spend a lot of time with our president. And on this subject, I remember sitting in the Oval Office with our President, Joe Biden, shortly after the United States Supreme Court struck down our initial plan to forgive billions of dollars in student loan debt. A different leader, a different kind of leader, would have thrown in the towel. Not Joe Biden. Not Joe Biden. And I'm going to tell you what he said that day. I'm going to tell you what he said that day. This is not over. So we kept fighting. And so far we have forgiven over $165 billion in student loan debt for over 5 million Americans. On average, more than $30,000 per person and $70,000 for our public servants like nurses, firefighters, and teachers. In 2020, we promised to take on the issue of the epidemic of gun violence, knowing that today in America, gun violence is the #1 cause of the...
Did y'all notice she didn't even attempt to do a breakout number for that student loan debt? She didn't even attempt to qualify how that helps black people. She didn't even attempt it. She didn't want to brag out a number there. She didn't want to drag out a number nor brag out a number. So just thought I would point that out to you.
Death of the children of America. Not car accidents, not cancer, gun violence. We took on the issue knowing black Americans are 10 times as likely to be the victim of gun homicide. And I'll tell you, I have personally held too many hands of mothers and fathers as I attempted to comfort them after their child was killed by gun violence. So to address this crisis, under the President's leadership, we passed the first major gun safety law in nearly 30 years.
She's telling you all that this is what they've done. This is the major issues facing black folk: insulin, student loans, guns. They keep trotting that out and whatnot. Now, isn't this amazing? They never say that this is the major issue facing white folk. All these school shootings and stuff, they never say that. They never go to the LGBT community and say, this is helping y'all. They don't go to the LGBT community and say, hey, we lowered insulin prices. Hey, gun reform. Hey, student loan debt. I mean, gays go to college too, right? If I'm telling the truth here tonight, I want you all to give me the thumbs up emoji and hit the likes button for me. It's almost 4,000 people in here live in just the first 20 minutes. But if I'm telling the truth here tonight, give me the thumbs up emoji and hit the likes button for me. If they don't, I figure, okay, they agree with Joe Biden that he's done a great job and Jason just needs to shut up for the night. If that's what they want me to do, I'll go ahead and do that too. I'm like, hey, okay, Joe Biden's winning with them. All right, let them have that. But if you all agree with me, give me the thumbs up emoji and hit the likes button for me. So far, she's telling you all about what they've done. Oh, and we have delivered.
A bipartisan law to strengthen background checks. And again, I sat in the Oval Office with the President, where he sat down with Democrats and Republicans and appealed to their better selves. And that's why, for the first time in 30 years, it happened as a bipartisan deal. We created the first White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention, which I lead, and has now invested $1 billion to hire mental health.
Okay, she's leading another department. You mean like that border control thing you were in charge of that has been a complete disaster? Now you're in charge of something else? Oh boy.
Mental health counselors in public schools to help heal the mental trauma of gun violence. And Philadelphia, in all of our work, the President has been guided by a fundamental belief. We work for you, the American people, not the special interests, not the billionaires or the big corporations, but the people. And in November, all the victories we have won and everything we fight for every day is on the line. You know, Donald Trump once asked Black Americans, I'm going to quote, excuse the language, "What the hell do you have to lose from a Trump presidency?" And sadly, we all know too well, when he was president, Donald Trump tried over and over to get rid of the Affordable Care Act and to take health care then from millions of Black Americans. Year after year, he proposed cuts to Social Security and Medicare so that so many of our seniors would be deprived on what they rely on to live with dignity.
Okay, let me go ahead and address that at the risk of upsetting everybody. Man, look here, damn Social Security and Medicaid. The old folks who've been sitting here all these damn times, all these decades, voting for the same damn people decade after decade. They have not insisted on fiscal responsibility one damn bit. These old niggas are feeding at the trough more than they ever have. At this point, at the twilight of their lives, they should be sacrificing more than they ever have. And yet they've gotten older and they're now demanding more than they ever have. Think about that for a few moments. All the folks you talking about, prescription drugs, diabetes, insulin, Medicare, Medicaid, Obamacare. These are the old folks who've been running around for decades. They had their big long Cadillacs. They had their hats with the feathers in them. They was at the juke joint. They was snorting cocaine. They was smoking crack. They sold grandma's house for an 8-ball. They sat up here and started the bastard baby epidemic. And now you telling those of us who are now heading toward middle age our damn selves that we need to pay more. Don't cut Social Security. You need to be cutting they damn checks now. No, the ones who getting one. They've gotten a free damn ride. They had a traditional pension. We ain't got one. They had a stable job at the plant. We don't have one. They had a job at General Motors and General Electric and American General Steel. They had that. They had $1. They had houses that cost $100,000 or less. They had cars that cost $10,000 brand new or less. They had schools that worked. They had roads that worked. They had telephone systems that worked. And they didn't lift a damn finger to see about the generation after them to make sure that they got that too. And now something that I said over a decade ago because it was verboten, it was forbidden, people were scared. They didn't want to say it because everybody was worried about upsetting the old niggas and the old folks out there. When I said the American dream is dead, this is going to be the first generation that has a lower standard of living than their parents. And y'all remember, if those of you hear the Black Channel, you know I've been saying that going on for 2 decades. Now, 2 decades later, finally the corporate media is saying what I was saying almost 2 decades ago. They're admitting it now because they can't hide it anymore. They can't tell you anymore that you can get a house or you can get a car. They can't lie to you anymore. Now they're finally admitting it, but take a look at what the hell they're saying. Oh, well, that's what it is, but vote for more benefits for the old folks. Vote for more benefits for them. They need more Social Security. So let me get this straight. Your Social Security is in jeopardy, but you need to make sure them old bastards who didn't do anything to make sure these politicians took care of you, you need to give up another gallon of blood for them. For these leeches and bloodsuckers, you ain't gave up enough blood. You need to give up another gallon for them. Now, they didn't see about anything for you. Barack Obama was out there overseeing a mass slaughter of black people by police and white supremacists. The old niggas went to the polls. Oh, well, they ain't yanking my old ass out the car. I'm good. Y'all old niggas, y'all little young niggas need to pull your damn pants up. Ain't that right, Bill Cosby? Yeah, when they were sitting up here yanking us out of the cars, it was cool. It was great. It was okay. Ain't no problem. As a matter of fact, it's your fault. Now, while we're telling everybody to fend for their damn selves here, you need to go grab all the octogenarians and senior citizens and tell them, by the way, starting with you, you already got yours. You had a house when the dollar was worth something. It was worth 10 times more than the one we have today. But you didn't safeguard it for future generations to make sure that they inherited the same dollar that you had. Y'all got folk in here right now. By a show of white flags in the chat room, how many of y'all have had old niggas in your damn family tell you they got theirs and you need to see about getting yours? Well, I got mine. You need to try to get yours. Throw up a white flag if you've had some bastard in your damn family sit up and tell that to your damn face. Well, I got mine. You need to see about getting yours then. I can't see about you. I mean, I got mine, so you need to take care of yours. I got mine. And this brain-screwed, reprehensible, dirt-eating wench on my damn screen up here talking about we need to give them more. More Medicaid, more Medicare, more Social Security, more unearned benefits. You can't afford the damn house you want to buy. They bought theirs for a fifth what it costs you. And then let every damn thing go to hell. So you supposed to come up behind them and take care. You got a dollar that's worth a tenth of theirs. You've got upward mobility that's gone. The damn industrial sector's been gutted, and they telling you about your responsibility to the old folks. Ain't the old folks supposed to have a responsibility to you? You know, when they were your age, weren't they supposed to be safeguarding your future? Weren't they supposed to be safeguarding your future? They should be pissed off as hell at some politician telling them that they need to give more. By the way, folk don't like the program here tonight, so I'm probably going to wrap up a little bit early. That's okay. But I just thought I would go ahead and point out here that they don't like me talking about the old niggas. That's okay. There's some folks here in their feelings about their grandfathers. Damn you and your granddaddy. If it offends you, I'm so glad. Let me go ahead and stomp on this for you. Damn you and your greasy granny. I'm telling the damn truth. If that hurts your feelings to hear that that's the reality of what occurred, to hell with you and your greasy granny. They robbed you of your inheritance. You are never supposed to inherit a lesser nation than the one that your parents got. Your parents got a nation that was in prime condition. Housing, education, healthcare, the environment, job security, retirement. They had the American dream by the time they were in their 20s, and it was distributed in mass to everybody. They all had, let's understand something. Your parents and grandparents, they were doing so well. Your parents and grandparents were doing so damn good that they could pick up a drug habit and it didn't bankrupt them. Damn! Why do you think they had the wherewithal to sit up here and grab a damn drug habit? That's how prosperous they were. They were so prosperous they could start snorting heroin and smoking crack and coming back and telling you some damn sob story. That's how prosperous they were. They were so damn prosperous that they could get some bastard kids on the other side, that side of damn town. Papa, they made songs bragging about it. Papa was a Rolling Stone. They loved talking about that mess. They were bragging about being hoes and dropping off bastard kids and the rest. They were bragging about it. They didn't give a damn what this did to the world for you. And now here you are. Here you are. Now it's your turn to come up, and I'll be damned. They've done emptied out the damn piggy bank on you. And now the politicians telling you, and we need to do more to take care of them. I got an idea. Why don't we cut their Social Security checks so they can pay back into the system that they've been extracting from for decades? They had their chance. They have not. The old niggas have not paid their fair share. They've kicked the can down the road and passed the bill to you. Not only that, but they passed an ever-increasing bill to you. You're paying much more now than they would have. And they're handing you the bill. Oh, we want more Medicare, more Medicaid, more Social Security, more free nurses, more free everything here. We want more free for us. While they did absolutely nothing to ensure your future. You can go to hell talking about me patching this thing together for them. They owe a bill. Oh, what I'm saying is just so forbidden here. Boy, folks don't want to hear that. What I'm saying is so damn forbidden. You're scared to even think this. You know what's amazing right now? You all are more scared of your grandparents than you are of God. There's a bunch of y'all here right now. You have no problem defying God. While you'll defy God, Jesus, anything else, while you're not afraid of God, you'll defy his existence, you'll defy his authority, you'll rewrite the Bible however you want to. I'll tell you about your damn grandparents. Don't talk about that right now. Can't do that right there. Can't do that. Do you realize what a damn slave you are? Do you realize what a gutless, scum-sucking, belly-crawling slave you are? You're not afraid of God, but you're afraid of a bunch of old niggas ain't never did nothing for you. Talk about a plantation-minded backward ass you are. I ain't worried about God. My arm's long enough to box with God. What about your greasy-ass granddaddy who didn't do nothing for you? We got to respect him, man. We got to respect him. We got to respect that right there. And you haven't seen anything more from him than you have from God, by the way. Matter of fact, I would argue you've seen more from God. At least God has it raining. At least God makes it rain. At least you have solar power from that. At least God provides some water and some wind. How about your granddaddy? What did he give you? How about your father? How about that? I just wanted to articulate for you, by the way, it takes a special kind of coward to be that kind of person, doesn't it? And she's telling you that this is what we're doing for black folk. Everything she's named is for everybody, but there's black folk, though, we want you to understand, but this is for everybody, but especially for you. And the old niggas love that because they have a biracial female validating them. They have a biracial female validating them, and they know old niggas love that. It's not young folk who are really color struck. It's the old niggas who are color struck as hell and always been. They were always color struck. So that goes over well with them. They got a biracial chick patting them on the damn heads. They all just said, a white man and a biracial chick. Don't y'all know this is old nigga heaven? What? Don't y'all know that? This is little old church lady heaven right here. A white man and a biracial female patting them on the head and giving them the thumbs up and you go girl and testify. This is old raggedy wheelchair nigga heaven. Y'all don't understand how good they feel seeing this right now. This is better than if they brought the Jeffersons back with the original cast for them. For one more season. They love this even more than that.
And then he handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court, the court of Thurgood, with the intention that they would overturn Roe v. Wade, and as he intended, they did. And today...
Sounds like Trump delivered for his people. She can't tell us anything they got from the Supreme Court for us. Oh, I'm sorry. Why don't you talk about your Justice Department, Kamala? Hey, why don't you talk about Carolyn Bryant? Why don't you talk about Daniel Pantaleo? Why don't you talk about George Zimmerman? Why don't you talk about that, Kamala? Why don't you tell us what your Justice Department has done? Why don't we just skip fast forward to the Justice Department talk, Kamala, and tell us what your Justice Department has done for us? Now, that one we'd like to hear.
1 in 3 women and more than half of black women of reproductive age live in a state with an abortion ban, a Trump abortion ban.
Oh, do you understand the audacity of this bug-eyed heifer? She's telling us that what she wants to do for she's literally sitting here telling you, my gift to black people is to abort your babies. Just because she ain't got no kids, just because her ovaries have never been reserved for use, and she's sitting here bragging that my gift, what we want to do specifically to black people is abort your kids. Now clap now. The old niggas love that. Your grandmama ain't got no problem with that. You're like, I didn't want these damn kids no way. Wish I could have aborted all y'all little bastards. I could have stayed out here in these streets more. This is her gift to us, is abortion, aborting your babies. By the way, I wonder if she wants to give out those stats too of black aborted babies. She should be doing a victory lap and bragging on that too, right?
And if he wins a second term, I promise you he's going to go even further. So all of this is to say, who sits in the White House matters. It matters. It matters for the people of the world. As Vice President, I've now met with over 150 world leaders. Presidents, prime ministers, chancellors, and kings. And I cannot tell you how many times one of those leaders has pulled me aside and talked about how much the world relies on us and on Joe Biden's leadership.
Did Afghanistan rely on you while y'all was fleeing out the damn country? Did you talk to those? Did you talk to that government there to find out how much they depend and rely? Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. All right.
His defense of democracy, his commitment to the ideals of freedom and liberty, and
he's not protecting our freedom and liberty right here. He's not protecting our democracy or our freedom and liberty right here. Ain't that right, Carolyn Bryant? You're not protecting ours right here.
Equality and his willingness to fight for these ideals. And as the people of Pennsylvania know, our president does not only know how to fight, he knows how to win. We beat Donald Trump once and we're going to beat him again. And now it is my honor to introduce our president, Joe Biden.
Hello, Philadelphia.
Let me warn you all in advance. This is Joe Biden now, and Joe is about to attempt to conduct a speech all on his own. He's going to attempt to do that. And yeah, you know how this is probably going to go here. So we're probably going to have to do a lot of stopping because I'm going to have to decipher some of these things. There are going to be quite a few half sentences. You know, he starts a thought and then kind of loses track of it there and then tries to pick it up again. But it's kind of like holding Jello with rubber bands. He's going to have some issues there. So just so you all understand, it's this. If you think this speech is going to be hard to follow for you, try being Joe Biden following his own train of thought here. So the train of thought's going to be derailed more than a few times, but I will see what I can do to help guide you all through this.
Thank you.
They talking about 4 more years, 4 more months, 4 more months.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good. It's good to be... It's good to be almost home. I just live down the road a little bit. Thank you, Kamala, for your partnership, and it is a partnership. And how about another round of applause for our great Vice President? You see something? It's great to see so many friends, including my fellow Scrantonian, Senator Bobby Casey. Bobby, there you are.
He gonna have an old man moment. He just started here. Oh, my old friend Bobby. Where the hell is Bobby at? Oh, there he is. Bobby probably had to stand up with damn me aircraft light sticks. Where my friend Bobby is here. Where is Bobby? Riding somewhere. Oh, there you are. And I hope that's the right. I hope, number one, that is Bobby, or at least somebody named Bobby. I hope it's the right Bobby. There might be 3 or 4 of them stood up. And he's like, hey, oh, there he is. Oh, just okay, any one of you. All right, any one of you over there. I don't discriminate. We're fine. It's just any one of you want to stand up for that? That's good.
Antonium, Senator Bobby Casey. Bobby, there you are. Mayor Parker, Lieutenant Governor Davis, the Chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Steve Horsford, members of the CBC who are here tonight. If I introduce everybody, I'll be here all night. Look,
and there's not no way in the hell you can remember them, so let's just keep it moving.
Look, I couldn't be here thinking of our dear friend Congressman Dwight Evans. He's recovering, he's going to recover, he's doing well. And joining us are so many state and local officials from across the country, including a guy from my father's hometown where he was born, Baltimore, Maryland. They say it down Baltimore, not Baltimore. I want to introduce you to the mayor, the governor of the great state of Maryland. Where are you, Governor?
I'll introduce you to the mayor, the governor, the mayor, somebody. Okay, it's just, folks, don't ever let him get up here and start meandering like this here. Come on now. Good grief, the colonial pen people are like it, and this is why you need insurance.
In case you haven't noticed, it looks like he can still play, too. It's great to be with you, Gov. Civil rights and community leaders from all across the country. Folks, if anyone wonders whether their vote matters, remember this. Because Black America voted in 2020, please, have a seat if you can. Have a seat. Because Black Americans voted, Kamala and I are President and Vice President of the United States because of you. That's not hyperbole. Because you voted, Donald Trump is defeated former president. And with your vote in 2024, we're going to make Donald Trump a loser again.
Need I remind you all that this unreformed segregationist, his first address to us when he got in office was to let us know that we need to hook up with Latinos. Remember? The first thing that he did was tell us that we need to really follow the Latinos and we need to get with their agenda. Now, that was the first thing he did for that oh so loyal, oh so productive black vote when he got in office. Now, that's what I remember. That was the first thing he did. He didn't tell Latinos they need to get in line with us. He told us we need to get in line with them. Now, 4 years later, you ain't heard the word Latino yet, have you? Okay.
In 2020, throughout my career, and a lot of Philadelphians know this because I got so much help when I was running for the Senate in Delaware from Philly, black voters place enormous faith in me. I've tried to do my best to honor that trust, staying true to the values set that we share.
Now, I want you to think about this for just a few moments. Let me go back so you can hear this one more time.
In 2020, throughout my career, and a lot of Philadelphians know this because I got so much help when I was running for the Senate in Delaware from Philly, black voters placed enormous faith in me.
I got so much support from Philadelphia when I was running for the Senate. Oh, yes, now I remember. You were Senator Joe Biden. Yes. Crime bill, Joe Biden. Yes. Segregated schools, Joe Biden. And the same generation of Negroes who supported you then are still being your faithful, loyal lapdogs to this day. I know this is a difficult thing for many of you to have to accept because you don't want to have to actually believe that that's how far in the wood the rot is. But I would be remiss if I didn't remind you. By the way, you do understand that that was literally what he just sat here and said. Who were the people who supported him when he was a United States Senator? Who were those people? I submit to you the exact same ones that he's talking about here. Nigga, take some insulin and some Medicare and some Medicaid. After all these decades, they've never demanded anything from him except to be acknowledged. Even as he was building and erecting the prison industrial complex, even as he bragged about being an architect of the prison industrial complex, they still went back and voted for him regardless. They've supported him regardless, and they do so to this day. And he's sitting there letting you know, by the way, yeah, they're the ones who did this. They're the ones who've done it. And now I just want the rest of you young folk to go along with it. You just need to roll with it. And I just wanted to point it out to you.
I've tried to do my best to honor that trust, staying true to the values set that we share, got me involved as a kid in the first place. Everyone's entitled to be treated with dignity and respect. Faith and family are everything, and we leave no one behind.
Nigga, please.
Really? Really? Seriously? You've left 2 whole generations behind. What the hell are you talking about? Look at housing prices. Look at the job market. Look at the lack of wealth. We don't leave anyone behind. You've left 2 whole damn generations behind. What are you talking about? Across America, there's always a shiny big black megachurch. And meanwhile, there's no upward mobility or progress for the young folk. They got to get out here and get it for themselves because them old bastards gleefully tell you, yeah, that's what it is. That's sure what the hell it is. Go get it for yourself because I'm damn sure not doing nothing for you here. Pass me my cognac. We don't leave anyone behind. This is insulting to your intelligence.
Folks, I know it's natural to wonder if the democracy you hear about, actually works for you. When justice is denied, how can it be working for you? When promises are broken, how can it be working for you? When you have to be...
Yeah, those are very good questions, Joe. Those are actually some damn good questions right there. Yeah, if it's not working for us, what good is democracy when we're showing you justice denied? As a matter of fact, you're one of the folks denying justice. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, very good questions there, Joe. Yes, what good is democracy if we're being denied all these things? Yes, sir. And then now he's finally said something I can agree with. Yeah, Joe, as a matter of fact, yeah, how does that work?
actually works for you. When justice is denied, how can it be working for you? When promises are broken, how can it be working for you? When you have to be 10 times better than everyone else to get the same shot, how can it be working for you? I get it. And I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I came today.
Okay, now let's stop here for a moment because this is that Obama crap. What they're doing, this is what I'm talking about. They come to us, to the younger folk, and they co-opt our language. Why he's saying the things that we talk about. Hey, democracy doesn't work for us. Justice is denied you. He's mentioning all those things there. You have to work 10 times harder than everyone else to get the same shot. Yeah, Kamala Harris just sat up here rambling for 8 or 9 minutes and didn't address that same shot thing. If we're working 10 times harder, then we should have 10 times the reward. And then your student loan debt would not be an issue. Your medical debt would not be an issue. Housing prices would not be an issue. If you were working 10 times harder, you'd be getting 10 times the rewards. Or should I say, if you're working 10 times harder, you getting what you're supposed to get. So he finally comes up here and acknowledges that. But hey, dude, I couldn't help but notice nothing that Kamala Harris said was addressing that y'all work 10 times harder than everyone else thing. So this is what they do with the old niggas. They make their little slogans acknowledging the words that you said. And then when we get to the, okay, what you gonna do about that part? Then they swerve to say, here, take some insulin. You working 10 times harder than everybody else? Oh, here, take some insulin. That's not compensating me for what the hell I've done. And I'm not even talking about reparations. I'm talking about the right here, right now. You working harder than everybody else just to get, you have to work multiple times harder to get the same thing. He hasn't said a word about what they have done to make it 10 times easier for us. Hadn't said a word about that. Did y'all notice that? He's repeating the words. He's articulating the problem the way we say, but he's not saying a word about, by the way, here's what I'm doing about that or what I've done about that part. That's the part we wanted to hear, and we ain't hearing nothing about how he's addressing that part, and that's what Obama did and all the rest of them. So what they've learned is, okay, make a campaign speech, acknowledge the problem, but folks, does this sound familiar? Do not suggest any solutions and do not suggest that you're going to do anything specific. Do not make any specific promises. Just nod your head, sympathize, tell them you understand, acknowledge that what they're saying is true, and then don't make any promises whatsoever. We're reserving that for our LGBT, Jewish, Arab, Latino constituency. We're reserving the specific promises for the Asians. We're reserving that for them. Not for the backbone of the Democrat Party, not for the Negroes. No specifics for you.
To speak the truth. Promises are broken. How can it be working for you? When you have to be 10 times better than everyone else to get the same shot, how can it be working for you? I get it. And I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I came today to speak the truth. The truth about promises made and promises kept.
I came here today to speak the truth. Are we asking for any more damn words? Hey, y'all need some action. I came here to talk for you. Now he's talking about he wants to speak the truth. Okay, he's going to talk about promises made and promises kept. Okay, now he's inferring that these are promises made to black people and promises kept to black people. But I wonder if that's what he's actually going to mention here, or if he's going to do more Kamala Harris. Well, here's what we did for everybody, but you also understand, wink, wink, this was really, mainly, mostly, kind of, sort of, meant for you. I wonder if that's what we're about to hear.
I get it. And I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I came today to speak the truth. The truth about promises made and promises kept. Do you remember when the pandemic hit? When 20 million people were out of work? When business and schools shut down? Emergency rooms were overwhelmed? And black folks were hit harder than anyone else? When Trump was president, he said this, he took responsibility for none of it. He said, it's none of my responsibility. When I came to office, I promised we'd do everything we can to get us through that pandemic. And that's what we did. That, folks, was a promise made and a promise kept. I promise.
Folks, we didn't start the pandemic. That's not something you did for us. First of all, as far as black folk were concerned, those of us who avoided getting that damn jab, those of us who avoided that, the folks who had the most trouble were the ones who listened to Joe Biden. They said, we need all y'all black folks to get this shot. Then black folks start dropping left and right. And he said, oh, well, you can't sue the pharmaceutical companies. And don't research it. And by the way, don't make Fauci open up his files either there. You might see something you don't like. So, yeah. So, people, we didn't create the damn pandemic, but he wants us to give him thanks for dealing with a pandemic we didn't make. So we didn't create it, but we need to thank him for dealing with it as if we made the problem and he came in and fixed it. And then a whole bunch of folks who took the thing, Colin Powell and a bunch of, they got the vaccine and next thing you know, oh, they out of here. I wonder if he's going to take responsibility for that. I doubt it.
I promise to put racial equality at the center of everything I do, because I vowed I would have an administration that looked like America. Because you voted, we're invested more than ever in the black families and communities. A promise made and a promise kept. A promise we'd start to reconnect black and brown and overlooked neighborhoods.
Well, what? Now, did you, folks, he didn't even make it that far before he hit you with the swerve. So he sat there, he's in this event, it's called the Black Voters for Biden-Harris Coalition, and he sits here and says what he's doing for black folks, for black folks, and then, oh, we're doing plenty for black families and for black and brown and underserved. Man, look at that. Yeah, look at that. There it is. That's what we were waiting for right there. So when you look around and say, by the way, our condition hadn't really changed. Well, you said you're taking care of black folk. Well, no, black and brown and underserved. And, you got a little sprinkle over here. Damn the sprinkle. You need to turn the damn whole faucet on for us. Damn a sprinkle. So just understand, after all this damn time here, yeah, there goes the swerve. Well, really it's for people of color and black and brown and underserved, and I gotta keep them borders open so the brown is okay. Okay, folks.
Promise kept. Promise we'd start to reconnect black and brown and overlooked neighborhoods cut off by highways in the 60s, and decades of disinvestment as a consequence of it.
Okay, folks, what the hell did they do? Tell me one black neighborhood that was disconnected that he's fixed. Which one is that? What the hell is he talking about? He's off on a tangent. He's fantasizing. He's hallucinating. What neighborhood is he referring to, people? Where? Tell me real quick so I can figure out what the hell he's talking about. Can I Google it? What disconnected neighborhood by a freeway has he reconnected? Tell me the freeway that got knocked down so we can go ahead and rebuild the community there. Tell me which one he's referring to.
Including here in Philly, what we're changed out with the Recovery Act, right now, you see all the construction going on the highways around here.
All right, he tries to tell that lie and set up here and stumble all over down there. Even here in Philly, we Care Act, Freeway Act, Investment Act. There's stuff getting built all over Philly. He couldn't even get through the lie good there. He was trying to figure out how to tell it. He couldn't even get through the lie well.
And decades of disinvestment as a consequence of it, including here in Philly, what we're changed out with the Recovery Act. Right now, you see all the construction going on the highways around here. A promise made and a promise kept.
Philadelphia, all the, quote, construction going on around here now? Is that happening in the black neighborhoods? How is that, quote, construction helping black people? There's construction going on in Philly. There's always construction going on in Philadelphia. That's not new. What is that doing for black folk? What is that doing for black people in Philadelphia? Tell me the construction project that Joe Biden's been in charge of that is helping black people. Tell me which one it is.
Look, I said I'd remove every lead pipe in America so every child can drink clean water without fear of brain damage. We're doing it. A promise made and a promise kept.
So Flint, Michigan is knocked out? So is he telling us that Flint, Michigan and Jackson, Mississippi they've taken care of that? Is that what he's saying? So Flint, Michigan, Jackson, Mississippi, Benton Harbor, so that's a done deal? What did I miss, everybody? I didn't hear about that. I missed that. When did that happen? Because he just said a promise made and promise kept. I'm like, okay, really? He did? When? I'm like the rest of y'all. Okay, there's a whole bunch of us in here listening right now. Like, oh, when did that happen? But don't you wish there was a little television screen on the side of Joe Biden's head so you can see exactly where in the hell he's referring to when he says this stuff? What the hell is he talking about? Who is he talking about? What is he talking about? Which America is he referring to? Because it's damn sure not the one we're in.
I promise you'd also take the most significant action on environmental justice ever to remove the legacy of pollution that smothers fence-line communities. Because every child, every American deserves to breathe clean and fresh air. We're doing it. A promise made and a promise.
Wait a minute, what did he say here that smothers what communities?
You'd also take the most significant action on environmental justice ever to remove the legacy of pollution that smothers fence-line communities.
That smothers fence-line communities? What? What? What the hell is he talking about? That smothers fence-line communities? People, are any of you able to decipher that? Because I don't know what the hell I just heard. It's smothering what, Joe? What the hell? People, what the hell? Who the hell? Oh, he is just freestyling right now. Joe Biden is straight freestyling without a beat off the top of the dome. I mean, he's just going for it. He's just like, they don't give a damn, no way. Okay. Oh, and then they got the sign language guy down there at the bottom of the screen. Now I wonder what happened with him. I wonder if he was able to make out any of this.
Damage. We're doing it. A promise made and a promise kept. I promise you'd also take the most significant action on environmental justice ever to remove the legacy of pollution that smothers fence-line communities. Because every child, every American deserves to breathe clean and fresh air. We're doing it. A promise made and a promise kept.
Oh, y'all, if y'all take a look at the sign language dude, take a look at his eyes after Joe Biden said that. Boy, he's looking up in the air. He kind of rolling his eyes. He looking perplexed. I'm not kidding. Take a look at the little sign language dude. Even he's like, oh, hell, I got to interpret this? How do I interpret fence line? I don't even see how this lines, the adjectives and verbs line up. I'm trying to, what the hell kind of grammar and composition is this?
Damage. We're doing it. A promise made and a promise kept. I promise you'd also take the most significant action on environmental justice ever to remove the legacy of pollution that smothers fence-line communities. Because every child, every American deserves to breathe clean and fresh air. We're doing it. A promise made and a promise kept.
Yeah, the little fella down there with the sign language, he's doing his best to try to keep up with this damn gibberish. He's like, okay, and the folks listening to me, he said they can't even hear it to be able to confirm nothing. So it's just, I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to make it work, but old Joe is throwing me for it.
I promise to access affordable high-speed internet, because now internet is just as important as it was in the days of Franklin Roosevelt. Electricity was generations ago.
All right. So Joe Biden is saying he's giving free money to AT&T and Comcast, billions of dollars to AT&T and Comcast. Not to us, billions of dollars to AT&T and Comcast, so they can build out more thought internet so these chicks can get on OnlyFans. And then when they do, now he wants to charge them taxes on it. So glad y'all are on OnlyFans and got your Snapchat popping and whatnot. And okay, good. Now we just in time for us to go ahead and tax you for it. We're going to tax your OnlyFans. We're going to tax your Cash App. We're going to tax all those things. You need this high-speed internet so you can go ahead and, make it pop on Finsta and OnlyFans, and so I can go ahead and tax you for that. So AT&T wins, and y'all will still get some more money for it, and we can tax you a little bit more here. So let's make sure they're all wired up for high-speed internet. Let's get fiber optic together so we can get this tax base popping.
We're delivering now because no child should have to do their homework at McDonald's when things are shut down.
And because no thought should have to go down to McDonald's to wiggle her butt cheeks to make a few extra dollars. So now she at least has the option of taking the child support money and putting something down on some fiber optic internet so she can go ahead and keep up with the Kardashians.
Sit in the parking lot with her parent to get it done. Another promise made and another promise kept. I promised to protect your health care. I protected and expanded the Affordable Health Care Act, but was Obamacare. It is still Obamacare. Saving millions of Americans an additional $800 a year in premiums. And folks, the Affordable Care Act is still a big deal. As Kamala just explained, senators debated this, but we finally got it done. We debated seniors with diabetes are now paying $35 for instance instead of $400. I'm determined to make that apply to every American, not just seniors in the second term. We're capping.
Did you hear that? Well, I promise now, it'd be for more than just seniors. It'd be for everybody else in the second term here. So for all the young folks out there, congratulations. Don't worry about upward mobility. Don't worry about getting gunned down by police. Don't worry about getting targeted at your job. Don't worry about last hired, first fired. Joe Biden, help is on the way. Reduced prices for insulin.
Seniors with diabetes are now paying $35 for instance instead of $400. I'm determined to make that apply to every American, not just seniors in the second term. We're capping. The bill we've already passed, we cap total out-of-pocket costs for drugs for seniors beginning next year at $2,000 a year total, including cancer drugs that cost $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 a year. You're paying no more than $2,000 a year. Promise.
I mean, that's great and everything. That's perfectly fine. Other countries have done this decades ago. So America with its gangsterism monopolies for pharmaceutical companies. And isn't that nice, everybody? So Joe Biden wants to lower how much you get charged for cancer. And meanwhile, he's given complete immunity to the pharmaceutical companies that have given you vaccines that can make you drop dead. So they get immunity. And, 20 years later, would you like some help? Would you like lower prices for your cancer drugs?
It's made and promise kept. And by the way, not only saves people money, it saves the taxpayers, guess what? $160 billion cut in the deficit because Medicare doesn't have to pay those exorbitant prices. Folks, one of the reasons I got started,
You're talking about the young people don't have to pay that because the old bastards taking the money out the damn system. They never put the money into it in the first place. They're not paying now. They're not paying their fair share now. These things are astronomically more expensive. They're running up the bill, but they're not. They didn't put anything into it. They certainly did not put into it what they want to take out. The old folks he's talking about, they did not put as much into it as they are now expecting to extract. He's literally telling you that he wants to expand all the benefits that they get. Hey, that's not what they were getting. If these things didn't pay for diabetes medications, didn't pay for cancer medications before, and I'm not saying necessarily they shouldn't, but hey, that's a hell of a lot more benefit than they paid in. Who's going to pay for all this extra that you want to expand it for? Well, it won't be them. They're not working anymore. So they won't be the ones paying for it. Yikes. I think I just figured out who's expected to foot the bill. You and me and us and ours.
The first time and subsequent times in Delaware is because of the best HBCU in America, Delaware State. Medicare doesn't have to pay those exorbitant prices. Folks, one of the reasons I got started and won the first time and subsequent times in Delaware is because of the best HBCU in America, Delaware State.
So let me get this straight. Joe No Bussing Biden is telling all of us that he's always been a big fan and big supporter of HBCUs. That's what he's telling you now. Well, I guess that's consistent because, well, he certainly didn't want his kids going to the jungle. But by the way, yeah, that's literally what he just sat here and said. Have you taken a look at the HBCUs? Have you seen what condition they're in? What is his support? What support is he talking about? What the hell? Don't worry, Ski-Wee and the sorors will sit up there and congratulate him no matter what. But for those of us with some cognitive thinking ability and actually listening here and critical listening skills, yeah.
Kamala says there's some school down in Washington. Anyway, HBCUs are incredible institutions, but they don't have the same endowments as other universities to fund research centers and do so much more. Because you voted, I kept my commitment. We're investing $16 billion, the most ever in the history of America. $16 billion.
Yeah, which is still about $100 billion short, as I covered here a couple of weeks ago. You're still about $100 billion short. Oh, don't worry, they're sending that to Ukraine and Israel, so glad we gotta have our priorities together. 4 more months.
We'll grow America. We'll save America money. A promise made and a promise kept. I'm keeping my promises that no one should be in jail merely for using and possessing marijuana.
What? Nigga, please.
Nigga, please.
Auntie, chill. What? So, let me get this right. Jailhouse Joe Biden, the man who bragged of being an architect of the prison industrial complex and 3 strikes, is now telling you that after decades being the guy who wrote and passed the laws to lock you up for marijuana, is now telling you why nobody should be in prison for marijuana. You the bastard put them in. You're the one who wrote the laws and bragged about it. Joe Biden said you might as well call the 3 strikes law Joe Biden's law, remember? For those of you who are too young and didn't see this or whatever, That's what Joe Biden said in his famous speech. That you call it 3 strikes, but I'm the one who wrote it. You should really just call it Joe Biden's law. And now all these decades later, he's saying, well, shouldn't nobody be in prison for no marijuana? Well, that's all interesting. Then, in other words, he's going to mass release them, right? Oh, he isn't? Okay.
I pardoned thousands of people incarcerated for mere possession of marijuana. Thousands.
After the damage is done, they've already been arrested. They've already got criminal offenses. They already got felonies. There's already criminal records. The damage is already done. First of all, thousands. The number wasn't thousands. It was far higher than that. By the way, okay, the damage is done now. We're supposed to be grateful now that the damage is done.
A promise made and a promise kept, and for the record should be expunged as well, I might add.
Oh, he said the records should be expunged. Oh, he ain't gonna do it. Yeah, that part that I just mentioned, yeah, he follows up with and say, oh yeah, somebody should take care of that other part. If it wasn't for you, Joe, and incentivizing the states you funded the states for 3 strikes. You directed the states, you advised the states, you funded the states, and incentivized the states to enact and follow the federal 3 strikes legislation. Now he's telling you, oh, well, now if the states got you hemmed up, yeah, well, we'll pardon some of you from the federal system. Oh, y'all stuck down there in the state system, that's your ass. But oh, yeah, somebody should expunge your records too. After he created the laws, now he's telling you, oh, somebody should do something about that. Well, we pardoned you. Yeah, but what about this record thing here? Oh, yeah, well, yeah, well, see what you can do with that.
Folks, it wasn't easy to get a lot of this done. In fact, obstacles every step of the way we faced. For example, Senate Republicans blocked the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, but didn't stop me from signing a historic executive order requiring key elements of that bill for federal enforcement. That is, banning chokeholds, greatly restricting no-knock warrants, creating databases for police misconduct, and so much more. But we're still,
There is no database for police misconduct. There is no database for police misconduct. There is no database for police misconduct. Furthermore, there is no requirement for police departments to report that data. That's the biggest issue. When people file complaints or anything else, there is no requirement for local police departments to send that data. None. Hell, there's a law in Texas of all states. Remember, we covered this years ago. There is a law in Texas that says that the police departments and sheriff's departments in Texas are supposed to report this data to Texas. And they're not reporting it to the state of Texas. So him talking about chokeholds, folks, for better or worse, the FBI and the feds, those are the most professional law enforcement people you're ever gonna find. They're the best trained, the most vetted. You ain't heard about anybody dying like they do in the Mississippi State Prison. When you with the feds, ain't nobody dying in there like that. Nobody's getting choked to death. Nobody's getting strangled to death. The feds don't do that. When it comes to the feds, that doesn't happen with them. What's happening to us is at the state and the local level. Okay, what does Joe Biden have to do with that? As I explained, when Bill Clinton and them passed 3 strikes in the 90s, they went to work incentivizing the states and giving grants to the states contingent on them mimicking those laws and mimicking those regulations, so that basically the laws would be uniform across the country at the local, state, and federal level. That was what they did in the 90s. So no, they didn't make it a law on the states per se, but what they did was also say, okay, we need to incentivize the states to mimic what we're doing at the federal level. We need to fund them in the states to replicate what we're doing at the federal level. And then the states were like, oh hell, we can do better than the feds. That's what happened. Now he knows that the states are the ones doing this, and it's like, okay, we'll tell the feds not to do that. Okay, but our problem isn't really with the feds. That's a small minority of the issue. What about the states that you unleashed on us? What about them? Oh, nothing there? All right.
Did it with the support of George Bush's family, and we're going to finally get it all done. A promise made and a promise kept. I promised we'd beat the...
He just said that they didn't do it, and then he says a promise made and a promise kept. Who in the hell is writing this stuff? Damn!
Lie.
He literally just said the George Floyd Policing Act, we didn't get it signed. I made a few executive orders that kind of touched and nibbled on the edges. A promise made and a promise. Next time we're gonna get it done. A promise made and a promise kept. Since when is gonna is a promise kept? Hey, you owe $500 on your electric bill. Okay, well, turn my electricity on right now, and I will pay you in 2 weeks. A promise made is a promise kept. Folks, what the hell is this?
NRA, and we did. As Kamala mentioned, I signed the most significant gun safety law in nearly 30 years. A promise made and a promise kept. And by the way, I'm going to go back and once again ban assault weapons in America.
Okay, who are the black folks saying, y'all talking about reparations and a hate crime bill and equal distribution. Y'all talking about that. What we really need to do is deal with the NRA, though. That's what we really need to do. How many black folk are saying that? Show me the polls that said in the black community, the NRA and it's all right, the number one issue. Where the hell is that?
I did it once. We'll do it again. Supreme Court blocked me.
Do you think he even remembers that? I did it once. Joe, are you sure you're not misremembering? Are you sure there wasn't a senile delusion there? I already did that, didn't I? Didn't I already get rid of assault weapons? I did it once. I'll do it again. Joe, your memory's slipping on you there, Joe.
And assault weapons in America. I did it once. We'll do it again. Supreme Court blocked me from relieving student debt, but they didn't stop me. So far, I've relieved student debt for nearly 5 million Americans. A significant number are black borrowers. So you can chase your dreams, start a family, buy your first home, start a business, and so much more. And guess what? It grows the economy. It strengthens.
Wow. Now, isn't that interesting? I want to come back and deal with that statement there, but one more thing here. How many of you with student loan debts, how many of you it stopped you from buying a house and it stopped you from getting other things done? How many of you did it actually stop? Because according to him, your life came to a standstill because of student loan debt. So I'm trying to figure out who are the folks here that your life came to a standstill because of a student loan debt? Who are you? Who out there? Which one of y'all out there could not pursue your dreams and couldn't get nothing done because you owed student loan debt? Who are you? Where are you? Because Joe Biden said it stopped your whole life. They shut your whole life down with a student loan debt. That's what he just sat there and said that. But by the way, did you hear what he said right after that? Why, he said that helps the economy. Did you get that? Why, he says that helps the economy. Let me play that.
Buy your first home, start a business, and so much more. And guess what? It grows the economy. It strengthens the economy. I'm going to keep it going.
You know what, Joe? I'm so glad you said that right there, because something that would stimulate the economy and help the economy and grow the economy more would be our reparations. Cut the check. No. Not no loan forgiveness. Cut the check. That would increase and boost the economy, Joe. Why, that would be a net positive there, Joe. Instead of giving billions of dollars to AT&T and Comcast to cheat people with low quality, high speed internet, paying our reparations would do a whole lot more than that student loan thing. So he will sit up in public and he will say that these things are positive and he will talk about how that increases the economy, but only for the things they want to talk about.
Promise made is a promise kept, and we're speaking of the court.
What the hell? Now, he literally just said that they were not able to get student loan forgiveness passed. So he gave some to a few million because they couldn't get it done. But promise made, promise kept. Folks, he's telling you that he's kept promises on the stuff he did. He's telling you what he didn't do and then telling you, by the way, I kept my promise on it. Ain't this old bastard like your raggedy ass baby daddy? That nigga promised to sit up here and come see the kids. He promised to drop off some baby food. He promised. Could you imagine your baby daddy? He didn't do a damn thing and telling you, baby, promise made, promise kept, do he? He showed up one time in 4 years and is at your house rubbing you on the leg, talking about some loving, and you talking about, wait a minute, all this stuff you didn't do it, baby. I did. I told you I was going to bring the kids some baby food here. I told you right there, but I did bring a quart of milk. And that's kind of like baby food when you think about it right there. So next time, I'm going to bring some next time, though. I ain't seen you in 4 years. I'm going to bring some next time. I promise made is promise kept, baby. Promise made is promise kept, baby. No wonder Hunter Biden is on the pipe and sleeping with hoes and all the rest of this stuff. Look at this damn daddy. No wonder Hunter Biden is out here all reckless. No wonder. Now we know where the hell he got it from.
Because you voted, I was able to keep my commitment to appoint the first black woman on the United States Supreme Court.
And that heifer can't read her stuff neither. That illiterate, cross-eyed ass, bug-eyed head, she can't read neither. That's the damn shame of it all, by the way. She reads like Biden does. So I guess you got to be half senile for Biden to nominate you for anything. It's like, okay, wait a minute. No, we can't have you. You too sane. You ain't crazy enough. Where Ketanji at? There she is. All right. We can do that. Oh, and she's married to a white man. So Kamala Harris, Ketanji, Kamala. Okay, she's married to a white man. All right, there you go. This is a Negro we can trust. This is a Negro we can believe in.
Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. A promise made and a promise kept, and I appointed more black women in the federal circuit courts than every other president in American history combined. Every single president combined. And overall, we appointed.
And that does what for black people? First of all, was that what we were asking for? And that does what for black people? What does that do for black people? I'll put a bunch of bed wenches on the federal benches. Bed wenches on the benches. Okay, and that did what for us?
Appointed 200 black judges to the federal bench. And guess what? The next president, they're going to be able to appoint a couple justices, and I'll be damned if they're not going to. Look.
Okay, Joe, y'all, did you see he stopped half sentence? You heard that there? The next president will be able to elect a couple of judges to the Supreme Court, and I'll be damned if he must have been thinking, well, I'll be damned if I put one of you niggas on it. Did y'all see where he stopped the mid-sentence? And I'll be damned if if you niggas gonna be on wait a minute now, hold on, I already put one on there.
Judges to the federal bench. And guess what? The next president, they're going to be able to appoint a couple justices, and I'll be damned if they're not going to.
Talk about he went off script. Joe, that was I'll be damned if we don't. Joe went off script, y'all. The medication must have lapsed. His medication lapsed for a minute. And the next one is to be able to support a Supreme Court justice, and I'll be damned if I want. Wait a minute, hold on. Wrong sentence. We're on a rant here. Joe, please finish that sentence. I want to know what you'll be damned if you don't what. What exactly are you going to say? I'll be damned if I'm going to pay for these tacos. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'll be damned if I'm going to let you give me another shot in the arm. I'm not doing this. I'll be damned if I'm going to have to switch up to this insure. I'm not doing it. I'll be damned if I'm going to go to bed tonight at 8:30. I'm tired of you saying that to me. I'm trying to figure out, Joe, by the way, I want to hear the rest of this sentence. I want to see if it's in any way connected to the Supreme Court. He's talking about, I'm going to get to elect a couple of Supreme Court justices, and I'll be damned if I'm like, and he just stopped. I'm like, and the whole audience is like, well, what are we doing? Where we end up at? They don't know what the hell going on. They're like, okay, do we clap? Do we stop? He didn't tell us what he was going to. I'll be damned if I'm going to. Okay, can you finish that thought? We don't know if we really want to support what you're saying right now. I'll be damned if I'm going to. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute now. Back up. We don't know we're supporting just yet. Y'all dumbasses have been paying for them the whole damn. Y'all been supporting the whole damn time anyway. Didn't stop you before. So I told y'all about those half sentences. Okay, this is a sentence we need to get the end of. Yeah, I want the transcript of his speech. I want to know what the hell is the end of this sentence. I want the end of this sentence. Now I'll be damned if we're going to eat at Wendy's tonight. The next president is going to get to nominate 2 Supreme Court justices, and I'll be damned if I'm going to wear spandex. I'll be damned if I'm switching to decaf. It's just going to be some bastard leaping on that stage to grab that microphone and cut it off when that happens. 2 Supreme Court justices, and I'll be damned if I'm going to play with Legos. All right, play the national anthem. Play the anthem. Let's go. Cut the break.
Judges of the federal bench. And guess what? The next president, they're going to be able to appoint a couple of justices, and I'll be damned if they're not going to. Look, if in fact we're able to change some of the justices when they retire and put in really progressive judges, like we've always had, tell me that won't change your life when Trump justices are already gutting voting rights, overturning Roe, decimating affirmative action, and so much more.
Okay, but they were doing that when Obama was in office. What the hell are you talking about? That was before Trump ever got to office. How the hell are you going to try to lay that at his feet? That was happening before him.
We're going to let that happen? We can't.
You're the one made the law, so it could happen.
No, we really can't. Now let's talk about Trump's MAGA lies. I don't have an hour, but we'll get us sorted. Trump takes credit for sending all the pandemic relief checks alone. It's a lie. Truth is, the Congressional Black Caucus got that money passed.
Lie. What? Damn! I'll teach him! Lie. What? Lie. 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 Folks, I'm going to try my best not to have an ulcer over here. It's going to be difficult for me, but I'm going to try my damn best not to have an ulcer over here. So he's now telling us that the Congressional Black Caucus is responsible for the COVID checks? People, this isn't even lying anymore. This is just science fiction. I can't even really say science fiction because science fiction is supposed to be rooted in science. You know, there's supposed to be some scientific principles that are undergirding it. This isn't undergirding science. This is undermining science. Folks, what in the hell? This is news to the world. So the Congressional Black Caucus, understand, COVID checks, that was trillions of dollars, remember? So let me get this straight, Congressional Black Caucus. Because Joe Biden just put y'all asses on Front Street, listen up carefully, butterball rolling Martin. So Joe Biden just sat here and said the Congressional Black Caucus responsible for COVID checks. Well, I'll be damned, because they've given us nothing but excuses for reparations checks. So the COVID checks were trillions of dollars. But they telling us what they can't do for us. And he put that at the feet of the Congressional Black Caucus. I'm very glad he said that. Very glad he said that.
Credit for sending all the pandemic relief checks alone. It's a lie. Truth is, the Congressional Black Caucus got that money passed.
Yeah, y'all heard it. Oh, I went back to replay that. That's a rewind line right there. That's a rewind line. So he's telling you, he just sat here and told the world Trump wasn't responsible for the COVID checks. The Congressional Black Caucus was. While Jimbo Jangles Clyburn is sitting up here telling us about what can't get done. Well, hey, Jimbo Jangles, Biden just said that y'all did that. He just said that y'all did that. And then you come up telling us what you can't do and you can't get nothing. When we come to you and say, hey, this is what we want, and we can't do nothing for you niggas. But Joe Biden just said, oh, by the way, that was the Congressional Black Caucus did that. Don't y'all know every nigga in the Congressional Black Caucus is sitting up there holding the newspapers up in front of their face, hoping nobody can see them? Oh, hell, why the hell do you have to say that right there? How we going to argue our way out of this now?
When Kamala came to office with the help of the CBC, passed legislation delivered more checks in the pockets of millions of Americans, including black Americans. $1,400 checks from the American Rescue Plan we passed.
Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Nigga, damn. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. I teach nigga.
I'm just running out of buttons over here. I'm running out of buttons over here. People, 1,400. How many of you? This has always infuriated me about the COVID thing. This has always driven me up the damn wall. Folks, they were giving out checks for $1,400 and $1,500, not $15,000. $1,400 was supposed to float you for a year. Yeah, and they're giving the illegal aliens more than that. And there's no pandemic, but they're giving the illegal aliens, non-citizens, more than that. Folks, so that was supposed to sit up here and float. That $1,400 was supposed to float you for a year? I want to know who in the world are you super finance niggas out there that $1,400 floated you for a year? I want to know who you. I need to get tapped into your money management. Because I'm over here messing up. Clearly, I'm over here messing up. If you were able to make it for 60 days on $1,400, I need to get clicked up with you. Because you are an amazing nigga. If you're able to make it in a major American city for $1,400 for more than 60 days, I want to know who you are, because Joe Biden is talking like he just bailed you out for life. All these people who talked about how the so-called stimulus checks in the economy, all these people spending their stimulus checks, what the hell are they talking about? Oh, that's what created the auto crisis after the pandemic. All the people who got their loan money, they went off buying G-Wagons and S-Classes and Dodge Charger Scat Packs. And I'm like, these guys on YouTube are insane. They gave $1,400, not $14,000. Folk acting like you could float the damn American economy on $1,400 damn dollars. Or $1,500 or $2,500. And no, most folk didn't get no PPP loans. Hell, and now they're going back arresting everybody who got them. Biden just said it, that $1,400 right when you needed it. We came through with $1,400 right when you needed it. And I'm like, tell me where at in America, how long you gonna make it on $1,400? Do you hear this old fool? Do you hear him? He talking like he broke y'all off a piece for the lottery. $1,400. And he's talking as if he bailed out the nation. 14 folks. I mean, I'm just in some twilight zone. You have now entered the dimension of sight and sound and senility. Of high-speed internet and low-speed intellect. Of smartphones and dumb niggas. What? People, come on now. That has always just sent me insane hearing people talk like them $1,400 checks that you could float a global economy on $1,400 checks. What the hell? People acting as if you'll be able to pay off. Hey, you can pay off that house now. $1,400. What the hell do you think people did with $1,400? People, I'm trying to hang in there, but they are not making it easy for me. I'm trying, but they're not.
And I'm going to get it reinstated in the second term. Folks, Trump continues to lie by saying black unemployment was at a record low on his watch. The fact is, record low unemployment happened on my watch, and we're going to keep it going.
Okay, y'all. Joe is beyond freestyling now. Joe is he's biting, he's ripping things off. He's just picking up encyclopedias and just reading. I mean, he's just like, look here, just whatever. Just lie, damn it. Just make it up.
Black small business start.
Let me go back a little bit here.
Child poverty in half. Black Americans. The truth is, the Congressional Black Caucus got that money passed.
Okay, let's go back to this lie.
When Kamala came to office with the help of the CBC, passed legislation that delivered more checks in the pockets of millions of Americans, including black Americans. $1,400 checks from the American Rescue Plan we passed. And then $300 a month per child, per family through the child tax credit, which cut child poverty in half for black families.
Black families? What the hell? All right.
And I'm going to get it reinstated in the second term. Folks, Trump continues to lie by saying black unemployment was at a record low on his watch. The fact is, record low unemployment happened on my watch, and we're going to keep it going. Black small business are starting up at a faster rate in 30 years because of what we've done. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years because of our efforts. A promise made and a promise kept. I announced the most significant housing plan in 50 years. It includes first-time home buyers tax credit, building millions of affordable housing to bring rents down.
I mean, folks, as I said, he's just making it up. He's just making up anything you want to hear. He's going to help you buy a house. You mean with the median home price being over $400,000, you're going to help us buy one of those? You're going to, quote, help us buy one of those? So he's going to help you buy a home, but he's also going to get you into affordable housing. Well, that's an apartment. That's Section 8. That's not buying a home, sir. What the hell?
New data shows 40% cut in the gap between home appraisals in majority white communities versus those of color, communities of color. You know, the same exact builder on either side of 95 build the same houses. If it's a black community, it's lower, the value for the very day it's built ends up being lower than the exact same house across the highway in the white community. We're doing everything we can to right that wrong. And guess what? We're taking on corporate greed.
Oh, okay, y'all, he did it again. He did it again.
Boy, what in the hell's the matter with you?
Is another half sentence. We're going to do everything we can to do something about that. And moving right along, so he acknowledges the problem and then says, well, we're going to do everything we can. Excuse me, what are you doing? Where's the Justice Department? What are you doing? Where's the Commerce Department? What are you doing? Because he just said, well, oh yeah, they messing you over and we see it and we're going to do everything we can. People, this is not me talking. This is him.
We can.
This is him stumbling and bumbling.
Right that wrong. And guess what? We're taking on corporate greed. Lower than the exact same house across the highway in the white community. We're doing everything we can to right that wrong. And guess what? We're taking on corporate greed to bring down the price of gas, food, and rent. Eliminating junk fees. Instead of getting charged $35 for an overdraft, it's $3 now, not $35. The bottom line is we've invested more in black Americans than any previous administration in history has. We're opening more doors for economic opportunity, including access to capital.
Did he just tell us that overdraft fees are what he's doing for black people? Do you hear this garbage? This is insulting. This is just an insult now. Is he going to go in front of the LGBT community and say, hey, we reduced overdraft fees. We support LGBTQ. We reduced overdraft fees. Because if that's what you're going to say to us, that's what you should be saying to them.
Entrepreneurship, workforce training, so you can build a life of financial freedom and create generational wealth. All while being the providers and leaders of your families and community.
Okay, I want to know who the hell he's talking about. Because did he say black men? I didn't hear him say black men. Who are the providers and leaders he's referring to?
Invested more in black Americans than any previous administration in history has. We're opening more doors for economic opportunity, including access to capital, entrepreneurship, workforce training, so you can build a life of financial freedom and create generational wealth. All while being the providers and leaders of your families and community.
Okay, who the hell is he talking about? Is he talking about black women? All right, black women, I need y'all to go to carpenter school, and we need y'all to go to welding school so you can be the providers and leaders. I mean, he didn't say black women, but he said workforce training, and he must be talking about y'all. So black women, get ready. Get your ass down to Home Depot and learn how to pick up one of them 8-foot 2x4s and that 50-pound bag of concrete. Yes, sir. We don't have enough black female plumbers, so I need all you women there to go ahead and get ready with your pipe wrenches. Workforce training is a-coming, so you can take your proper place as the providers and leaders. Because he didn't say black men, so I must assume he means you. So black women, this is what he's going to do for you. All of y'all are going to get gift cards to Home Depot. What? Yeah, that weekend training that they do at Home Depot so you can learn how to work on this stuff. Oh boy, this is going to be delicious. Oh, I can't wait to see you all trying to carry that lumber around from Home Depot. I can't wait to see this one. Yes, sir. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think I'm ready to step back from that leadership thing in black community. Let me go ahead and let the ladies take care of this next part. Keep stressing my elbow anyway. Let me go ahead and let y'all take care of this. Because you're going to need a part-time job after he finishes taxing your OnlyFans income. Damn! Yes, sir. When y'all see what a self-employed tax bill looks like, oh, y'all, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. All the females who are going to be asking their girlfriends, girl, I don't have a CPA. Can I deduct this G-string? Damn! I don't know. Can I deduct this slingshot?
Auntie, chill.
Oh, baby, they charging us now. I didn't know they was going to do that. Can I deduct these pasties? I heard you had an accountant. Can I deduct these pasties? Yes, sir, boys. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games right up until this next shoe drop on you. Yes, sir. Y'all all about to be down there getting your CDLs and going to Home Depot. Let me tell you, Joe Biden's about to put your ass to work. He's about to put your ass to work when you see, oh, I was paying less taxes as an employee. Yes, sir. You're going to be trying to sling them butt cheeks on OnlyFans and Joe about to drop a real tax bill on you. Okay, I'll get them to pay me through Cash App. Okay, get ready for this one. Get ready for some sticker shock. Oh, yes, sir. Get ready for some sticker shock. Get ready for you to pay all the taxes now. Now you getting ready to pay all the taxes. Yes, sir. It's like, oh, all that old low-key, under-the-table money you thought you was going to be getting all this time. It's like, okay, here's your 1099. You're like, wait a minute, where's my damn W-2? Oh, we through with that. No, baby, you don't get a W-2 anymore. You're like, wait a minute, where all these numbers come from? 1099. And that's what just had the number 2? Oh, no. How about a 1040? No, baby. No, you've left the world of 1040. Welcome to 1099. You're like, wait a minute, damn, you go any higher? Why we gotta go from 1040 to 1099? We taking you about up as high as we can go. And wait till you hear what they can tax you for that. Wait till you find out what they can tax you for that. Some of y'all hoes, did he say hoes? I sure did.
And deal with it, nigga.
Some of y'all gonna find out what the alternative minimum tax is.
What?
Some of y'all are about to find out what the alternative minimum tax is. Now, there's a bunch of you who don't know what that is. Some of you have actually qualified for it and you haven't been paying it. But by the way, yeah, when Joe and Kamala get done with your ass, some of you are about to discover the alternative minimum tax like Columbus discovered the Bahamas. And you're about to find out what that is. And you're like, Jason, what the hell are you talking about? You got Google. Look it up. But some of y'all folks know what the alternative minimum tax is. Yeah, some of y'all OnlyFans butt shakers are about to find out what the hell that is. Some of y'all about to find out what that is. Some of y'all Cash App booty clappers, yeah, you about to find out what the alternative minimum tax is. Alternative minimum? What the hell kind of alchemy phrase is that? You about to find out talking about a damn child tax credit. A child tax credit and an earned income tax credit. Oh, no. You about to find out what that is. Man, it's about to be mo hoes turning Republican here after this damn election when Biden and Kamala get done dropping the people's elbow on your damn operation. Oh, just watch what the hell that is. Just watch what that is, boy. When he get done wearing them out. When he gets done wearing them out. Because remember, that's supposed to go, that tax on all the Cash App and the Venmo and stuff where just everybody gets a 1099. That thing where everybody's going to get a 1099 for it. Remember, that's supposed to happen like next year. Oh, conveniently, after he gets elected, supposedly, if you re-elect him, he's going to be like, okay, now we can drop the hammer on you. Yeah, it's an election year, so don't drop that damn thing on him yet. We extended it for another year or two. Soon as he gets himself re-elected, okay, now I'm dropping the hammer on you hoes. Okay. All right, yeah, you better take some job training. You better get some skill training. You gonna need it. You gonna be a Home Depot. You gonna be a Lowe's. You better figure out how to work a miter saw. You better figure out how to work a skill saw. It's gonna be a whole bunch going on. So you sitting here looking funny when you talking about skills training and whatnot. Some of you chicks about to get some skills for real. When that first 1099 show up for you, not the second one, when that first 1099 show up, the first one, when you see that one, and then you think you're going to go down the H&R Block, baby, you ain't ready. If you get a 1099, you're not ready for what H&R Block is going to tell you. You're not ready for that. You think you are, you're not. When you find out what H&R Block going to tell you, you're going to be like, I'll be damned, this is a scam. Okay.
Another promise made and a promise kept. We're just getting started, the second term. Want to keep it going to level the playing field by making the wealthy begin to pay their fair tax.
Y'all, a bunch of y'all OnlyFans chicks about to find out that you are the wealthy.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, it's a bunch of you OnlyFans chicks and you Cash App booty clappers. You're about to find out that you are the wealthy. Oh, it's going to be more hoes in the street fighting each other. They're going to be kicking each other in the ass, talking about, heifer, get a job and take care of your damn kids. Get out my pockets. Oh, it's a bunch of y'all about to find out that you are the wealthy. You going to be mad as a son of a gun when you didn't even make it to six figures and found out you got a 1099. Welcome to the wealthy. Yes, sir. They don't know nothing about it now. They quaking in the boots. He's lulled you into a false sense of security. He got you sitting up here focusing on Trump. Okay. Soon as he get reelected, you gonna get that new 1099 just in time for the holidays. And when you see what you can't do and you see, oh, they counting all the damn money. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't know they could take 30%. I didn't know they could do that. And no deductions. Oh, I can't do nothing with this. Can I write off these stripper heels? Can I write that off? Then you sitting up here and so, do I get that 1099? Do I get that section 179 credit for my Nissan Altima?
Nigga, please.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole bunch of females trying to figure out if the 179 tax deduction can be applied to a Nissan Murano. Does the Nissan Murano have a 6,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating? Can I get the SUV tax deduction for my Nissan Murano? Does my Nissan Rogue qualify? No, heifer. No. Don't y'all know it's gonna be more chicks on TikTok talking about, you know what? I'm through talking about these niggas. This damn president. Don't you know it's gonna be more hoes on TikTok complaining? It's gonna be more hoes on TikTok complaining than you ever saw in your life when they get hit with them 1099s. Watch. I almost wish he would go ahead and get reelected, because when them 1099s drop, I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to be mass hysteria. That's going to be a national education effort when all these chicks realize you can't file a 1040 the way you used to. You're going to get a 1099, which means that Cash App and the rest of them, they're going to tell the government how much you made. You can't hide it anymore. You can't hide it anymore. When you find out what the tax really is, okay. Man, look here. There's going to be so many hoes out there panicking. I mean, she going to be having she going to have an OnlyFans and be at Magic City. She going to have to do double duty. She going to have to do double booty duty. She gotta, when she leave Magic City, she gotta go home and crank up the OnlyFans. It's like, oh man, hoes don't get to sleep. Hoes don't get to sleep. So much for the American dream.
It ain't even close. I said I'd not increase the tax of anybody making less than $400,000 a year. Well, guess how much the average federal tax rate is for a billionaire? We had 1,000 of them. 8.3%. 8.3%. It's outrageous. If the billionaires only had to pay 25% to raise $400 billion, we'd be able to do everything we're doing now and still reduce the debt.
And yet you're not doing it. Folks, they're not auditing Amazon to find out if Amazon says we pay zero in taxes. We don't owe you anything in taxes. They're not auditing Amazon. They're not auditing AT&T. They're not auditing Facebook. They're not auditing Netflix. They're not auditing Apple. They're not auditing any of these billion-dollar companies. They are allowed to exercise and operate with impunity, and they tell you we don't owe anything, and the government's like, oh, well, ho-hum. Oh, well, ho-hum. No, they're not banning TikTok. However, if they do go through with that, oh man, don't y'all know the hoes will be in an uproar? Folks, if you take these hoes, you keep saying hoes, you can get upset about it if you want to.
Auntie, chill.
Y'all, if they take their Cash App and their Venmo, and then they come and take their TikTok too? Oh man, that's the end of democracy. That would be the end of Western civilization. Could you imagine? I'm talking about in one calendar year, they getting 1099s and TikTok goes away in the same year. Can you imagine the cultural shock? People, I don't want to be disrespectful. Y'all see the protests you see on these campuses right now because of the Israelis and the Palestinians going at it. Oh, these chicks gonna make that look minor. They gonna make that look minor. All these chicks, you trying to figure out how the hell is this slutty ass broad floating her bills through her life, and then you gonna find out, I'll be damned, she got an OnlyFans, she got a Finsta, she got this, that, and the other. She been collecting money on the table and then charging your ass for child support. Then she hitting you up for child support. Man, when they start slapping them 1099s on them, next year's slut walk is gonna look like the March on Washington. What? Y'all hear me? If they mess around and throw 1099s on their Cash Apps and 1099s on their Venmos and 1099s on that stuff, and then take away TikTok, you gonna have the Million Hoe March. You are gonna have the Million Hoe March right down Pennsylvania Avenue. That's what you gonna have. I'm talking about boys and girls, hoes of all ages. I'm talking about the grandmamas who are too damn old. It's like, oh baby, everything's sagging. She wants you to get the hell up off her Cash App. Y'all don't understand. If that happens, if they do both of those, you did that and you got rid of TikTok. Both. Man, look, folks, prepare for civil unrest. brace yourself and prepare for civil unrest because it's about to get ugly. I'm telling y'all right now. It's going to be a bunch of sloppy broads walking down the damn street with their G-string thongs on, squealing at the top of their lungs, demanding all kinds of things. Oh, just understand, it's going to be rough. It is going to be rough. Y'all think I'm joking too. I'm not even joking. They throw out some 1099s and get rid of TikTok in the same year? Okay. Fellas, y'all know them two females in Atlanta. They wearing those they're wearing those masks that hide everything except their eyes. They go around taking boots off of people's cars. That's how them chicks in Atlanta gonna do if y'all get rid of TikTok and hit them with 1099s for their cash apps. They gonna be doing that carjacking dudes. It's gonna be scary out here. It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be a bunch of sloppy ass single moms sitting up here trying to figure out how to work an iPad to be able to hotwire your car. It's going to be a bunch of sloppy single moms trying to figure out if they can read the codes off your key fob and pick up on that signal wirelessly like people are doing so they can go ahead and boost your damn car. I'm just telling you, man, it's about to get critical if y'all mess around and do that. It is about to get critical if we let them mess around and do that. You don't know what is going to be going down out here. Oh, it's going to be rough. He's going to raise taxes on them. He going to hit them for every damn thing he can. You just sitting there. We're going to go ahead and finish this here in just a moment. But before we do, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program. To my man, Mr. Rich Bird, Mark B., thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. And to everyone else here who has supported tonight's program, we're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we'll finish up with Biden and more. This is the Black Channel.
Hello, my name is Steve Burgess. I'm the author of this book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, a closer look at parenting your school-aged child. In this book, I've explained the role of the parent and the student in addition to what accommodations, procedures, rewards and consequences and expectations that need to be in place to ensure student success from primary to high school. This book is available on Amazon.com. For more information, please visit my link tree at Easy One-on-One and to access my latest podcast, A Teaching Moment with Mr. B. Thank you all for listening.
A white supremacist assassin seeks revenge. Corrupt FBI agents with evil intentions. Dangerous black collaborators dedicated to treason. Occam Jeffers must defeat them all and somehow survive. One misstep and he's a dead man. Join Occam Jeffers as he looks the devil in his blue eyes and tells him, Black first. A sequel to the underground hit War of the Heart, Spirit of 1811 Publishing presents God Love Us, on sale at Amazon. Pre-order and save today. Visit spiritofo1811publishing.com and show your love.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all this evening. We're going to go ahead and finish up with Biden's speech here about what they are doing for black folk here, and you can hear all the wonderful things they've named off. So after 4 years, everybody, everything was indirect, but we indirectly helped with student loans and, hey, insulin and, about that economic situation. Well, we doing the best we can on that, but, Ketanji Brown Jackson, in other words, everything we told you all, he's saying everything that we said it was going to be. Everything that we told people they were going to come back and say, all this useless ass symbolic stuff, it is everything that we told people it was going to be. And he's literally telling you, yeah, that's what we've done for you. That's the specifics we've done for you.
Look, billionaires pay their fair share. Not only reduce the deficit, but could provide child care, elder care, paid leave, and so much more to change the lives of millions of Americans, as well as grow our economy. But folks, all progress, all freedom, all opportunities at risk. Trump is trying to make the country forget just how dark and unsettling things were when he was president. But we'll never forget lying around and him lying around, actually.
Y'all. And he's got his finger on the button. He's got his finger on the nuclear button. I mean, I'm just saying this will be a telephone that they use to call in if they want to launch the nukes. And I'm like, okay, if he wakes up in the middle of the night and he's confused, he'll be sitting up here calling for room service and calling for them to launch the nukes. Think about that for a few moments. It's like he's trying to sit up here and diss Trump, and it's just like he got lost mid-sentence. I'm like, okay, can y'all come get him?
And lying about how serious the pandemic was and say he had no responsibility for it. And telling Americans, just inject a little bleach. Remember that? Ways acting, I think he...
Yeah, and you told us here, just inject this vaccine, and you can't sue anybody if you drop dead.
Injected a hell of a lot of bleach in himself. Trump, you got it, kid. Trump and his MAGA extremists want to give power back to Big Pharma to continue to charge exorbitant fees. Trump is still determined, in his own words, quote, to terminate the Affordable Care Act, which would deny 3 million black Americans health insurance, deny protections for pre-existing conditions for millions more. During his presidency, Trump enacted a $2 trillion tax cut, overwhelmingly benefiting the very wealthy and the biggest corporations, and exploded the federal deficit. He racked up more federal...
Now, it was a tax cut for everybody, by the way, since they want to talk about indirectly helping people. Actually, the Trump tax cuts were for everybody. But don't worry, not only is Biden going to get rid of that, here comes your 1099. So just understand, you better really, really love Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, because they got theirs and they're about to make sure you don't get yours. So I hope you get a lot of satisfaction for voting for them, because the pain comes immediately after.
Debt than any president did in any presidential term in history. Tell me about the Republicans and balancing budgets. And now he wants to do it again. At the same time, he's determined to cut Social Security and Medicare. I have a better idea. Let's protect Social Security and Medicare and make the very wealthy begin to pay for it.
The OnlyFans chicks are about to find out that they are the wealthy.
As Kamala said, Trump brags about gutting Roe v. Wade, standing there, I did this. Well, he openly encourages voter suppression and election subversion. Folks, re-elect Kamala and me and a Democratic Congress, and I will sign the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act tomorrow. And we will make
the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Have you ever heard of something that was more designated a loser than that? The John Lewis Get Your Ass Whooped on Edmund Pettus Bridge Voting Act is, folks, all right, no problems here, okay.
Make Roe v. Wade the law of the land again. It's within our power to do this. MAGA extremists ban books. Did you ever think if you're anybody over 30 years old, you'd go through a period where banning books in America? They're trying to erase black history. We're going to write black history because it's American history. It's American history. Together we make history, not erase it. To me, the values of diversity, equality, inclusion are literally, and that's not kidding, the core strengths of America. That's why I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history.
Now, y'all notice he keeps repeating that stuff there. I got the most diverse cabinet in history. No, you just have a bunch of plantation niggas up there, and that's supposed to sit up here and, oh, well, we is moving ahead. No, Simone Sanders moved ahead. We didn't get nothing.
Taps into the full talents of our country. And starts at the top with the vice president. On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man, the highest order, the first black Secretary of Defense, second black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, black women heads of military units. We're overseeing the most diverse, strongest fighting force in the history of the world. And folks, the threat that Trump poses is greater in his second term than his first. It's clear that when he lost in 2020, something literally snapped in the sky. No, I'm serious. That's why January 6th happened, when he unleashed an insurrection. Now, he's running again, and he's clearly unhinged. He calls insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol.
So, let me get this straight. Trump is unhinged, but you're the balanced one, right? People, where the hell am I?
Patriots. If reelected, he wants to pardon, quote, every one of them. Let me ask you, what do you think he would have done on January 6th if black Americans had stormed it? Think about this. What do you think would have happened if black Americans had stormed the Capitol?
Exactly what you did back in the 90s after we took to the streets after Rodney King. Did y'all notice that? We took to the streets for Rodney King. We took to the streets after that. And then 2 years later, the Democrats get into power. And 2 years later, here, hold this 3 strikes law. Here, hold this 3 strikes law. So what would Trump have done? I don't know. Maybe the same thing you did already?
I don't think he'd be talking about pardons. It's the same guy who wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder. The same guy who still calls the Central Park Five guilty, even though they were exonerated.
Okay, now that's a legitimate one. Now that one is legitimate. Got to give him that one. Okay, well. All right, Trump, hey, it's your election to lose. If you want to do that, here, hold this life sentence because they damn sure ready to give it to you.
He's that landlord who denies housing applications because of the color of your skin. He's that guy who won't say Black Lives Matter and invokes neo-Nazi Third Reich terms. We all remember Trump is the same guy who unleashed birthism, the birthism lie against Barack. And then Trump tells you he's the greatest president. I love this one. He says he's the greatest president for black people in the history of America, including more than Abraham Lincoln. I mean, can you fathom that? Where in the hell? Like I said, I think he injected too much of that bleach in his country. I think it affected his brain. Some lies are so foolish they don't have to say anything about them at all. Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. You got it, kid. You got it. I'm showing you who I am, and Trump has shown you who he is. And today, Donald Trump is pandering and peddling lies and stereotypes for your votes so he can win for himself, not for you. Well, Donald Trump will have a message for you. Not in our house and not in our watch. Let me close with this. Let me close with this. Folks, I know we have a lot more to do. When the full promise of America is not available to every person in this country, regardless of race, we've got work to do. But let's not lose sight how far we've come. And the reason is you. The stakes in this election couldn't be higher. What's at stake is nothing less than the fundamental ideal of America that defines America, that we're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, and should be treated that way throughout our lives. We've never lived up to it, but we've never ever before completely walked away from it either.
We've never lived up to it, then what the hell we doing? Well, we've never lived up to it, but, keep the faith here. Really? But you're not telling Asians that. They don't ever give anybody the we can't live up to it and ain't nothing we can do about it and oh well, we doing the best we can. They don't go in front of the Jewish community and say, oh well, we doing the best we can, them's the breaks. They drop them the bag, they drop them results, they drop them legislation. Nobody gives this kind of pole mouth talk except when they show up to talk to us.
And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let Donald Trump be the reason to stop being America.
Okay, well, was that the I'll be damned? Was that the end of it? We're going to have the opportunity to put 2 Supreme Court justices on there, and I'll be damned if we're going to let Donald Trump do it. Okay, well, all right. I think we found the other end of that wayward sentence he put out before. I think we found it. Took us a little bit, but I think we tracked it down.
I'll be damned if I'm going to let Donald Trump
Oh, did he get lost again, y'all? And I'll be damned if we're going to let Donald Trump. Yay! And I'll be damned if I let Trump, Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I just say that? No.
We've never lived up to it, but we've never ever before completely walked away from it either. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let Donald Trump be the reason to stop being America. I'll be damned if I'm going to let Donald Trump I'm not going to let Donald Trump turn America into a place that doesn't believe in honesty, decency, and treating people with respect. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let Donald Trump turn America into a place filled with anger and resentment and hate.
I mean, just okay, if he just is in complete denial of reality. And okay, folks, welcome to Joe Biden's world. It's a wacky place, where water is hard and flour is wet. Water is hard and sand is wet, so just welcome to Joe Biden's world. All right, well, anyway, he's gone down his list of tattletales and lies that he's going to tell here about what they've done for black folks. So you heard it, folks. They gave us insulin. They did everything for the rest of America, but you need to understand, wink, wink, that was specifically for you. Oh, well, we did we did pledge $16 billion for HBCUs. Well, we did do that. And we've denied so the only thing that I heard in there, I'm being fair. Folks, I'm being fair. I'm not skewing the news. I listened. He did name something that was specifically for black people. Okay. He didn't give it to the people. He gave it to the HBCUs. But you know what? Okay, I'll go ahead and let you have that. Never mind the fact that you are billions of dollars in arrears in what you actually owe to the HBCUs. But okay, I'll let you have that. Fine. We gave $16 billion to the HBCUs. Oh, I know why you did that. You're going to pay off the schools because you want them to indoctrinate the students and tell them vote Democrat. You see that as a powerful way. Hey, we pay off the HBCUs and all these schools will be teaching these dozens and hundreds and thousands of young black folk who come through there. By the way, vote Democrat. Well, they gave our school millions of dollars so they can teach the boys how to twerk and teach the girls how to do pipe trades and welding. What? That's what they're going to tell you. So this is all now they want to pay the schools to propagandize the young folk who come through there en masse. That's what they want to do. Really? Other than the HBCUs, then what else do you have? We said something specifically for black folk and okay. Okay. Well, we'll throw a little something to the HBCUs and then that's it. That's it. These other folk here, when they talk to Jewish society, they don't, this isn't what they get them. That's not what they get. They get a radically different stump speech than the one that we get. Radically different. So after all these years, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have made a stop in Philadelphia to say, this is what we've done for black folk. This is what we've done for you. And are you impressed? Are you impressed? Was that what you were hoping to hear? Are you motivated to get out and vote now? I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I don't think that's motivating you. I don't think that's what you were looking to hear. I think you were looking to hear something a lot more substantive. I think you were looking to hear that. So, folks, for the next 4 months, just understand that they've let you know after 4 years, that's what they've done. The rising tide lifting all boats, and yet our boat ain't moved nowhere. And they're telling you and me, oh, well, that's what we did for you. It's not, and if it wasn't good enough, well, you know, I mean, it's a long way to go there, but something better than nothing, better than what you're getting, something better, well, you get the... Oh, you don't get it? Oh, well, all right. And there you are. There you are. I told you all 4 years ago that they were going to have to prove something here. It wasn't going to be up to us to have to prove it. They were going to be the ones who have to prove it, not us. They're going to have to prove it, not us. Not us. And everything you heard is symbolic gestures and indirect and, oh, well, you get 2% of this. You're 14% of the population, but this will help out 2% of you here. Yeah, that's a formula for permanent oppression. That's a formula for being permanently behind. So just recognize what you're really hearing. That was on the political level. For tomorrow night's program, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. On tomorrow night's broadcast of the Black Channel, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I want to do tomorrow night's program, and we're going to be discussing sports. Specifically, we're going to be discussing Caitlin Clark. I know, not what you were looking for, not what you were expecting. But there are two things in particular that I've seen. There are two things in particular that I've seen. And in keeping with our subject matter and our long-standing focus here on the Black Channel, I think it's going to be necessary for me to do that. So we've dealt with the NCAA situation. We've talked about that. We're going to talk about that again tomorrow. And then I want to put this in context of Caitlin Clark, and I want to give it the 720 degrees of analysis because, as you all know, as I think most of you know, it's bigger than her. It's far bigger than her. And I want us to have an opportunity to discuss that at length. And I'm going to even open up the phone lines for that because I want us to have a discussion about this. I want to put it in its proper context. And among other things here, I'm also looking at opening I finally got things done there. I'm looking, if I can here, I would like to open up the crowdfunding here tomorrow night. As you all know, we've had to deal with some issues where that was concerned. So I've taken it to another platform here. So I'm looking at having that available here for tomorrow night. So for all of you who've been asking me about it, hello, Devin and everybody else, Devin in particular. Okay, ma'am, it's your time to shine. But for everyone here for tomorrow night, we're going to go ahead and get that started as I promised. Looking at doing that tomorrow night if I can. Just in time for Juneteenth. So we'll have an opportunity to do that. This is going to be a large discussion that we're going to be having. We're going to be having a large discussion about that because when we discuss about what we own, I think the program that I just did a couple weeks ago about the big three, I think a lot of folks got a lot out of that. And I think that a lot of people got the point of it, that there's been a whole lot of capital that we've owned that has been denied us. And I think this Caitlin Clark situation, this fits in perfectly for what 8 a.m. is about. This fits in perfectly with what 8 a.m. is about. So we're going to have a discussion about that here tomorrow night as we're going into Juneteenth. And don't be surprised if there are a few surprises. Don't be surprised if there are a few surprises. So keep your eyes and your ears open. Tomorrow night, here on the Black Channel, we'll be looking for you here. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program. Sabrina Scott, Mr. Kamathi, Walter, Denise, Darlene, and everybody else here who supported tonight's program. All the people in Super Chat there. So Nancy, Black Voltron, Andrea, Jack Edmonds, everybody else here who supported tonight's program. Lisa B., thank you all very much for your support. All the new channel members here, Mr. Gresham, Mr. Johnson, and all of you here, thank you very much. My man Bayou Billy gifted 10 memberships here, so thank you very much, brother, for going above and beyond. We appreciate that. And to all of you on tonight's program. And if you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we are here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com. You want to go and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m. Gentrified Race Wars, soon to be 8 a.m. You're going to want to join us for that as well. And I would like to take a brief moment to mention something. I know it's been a long road. I know we've been doing a lot. I know there's been a lot that's gone into this. I know that each and every one of you have lives of your own. Some of you have had children since I met you. I also know it's an election year. Now, Black empowerment does not take a holiday. So we don't necessarily hold out for election years. That's not what we do. However, that is the time that we are most heard, and that is the time that we are most acknowledged. And we started all of this for one reason. They hate us because we're Black, but they're able to victimize us because we're poor. And if we're going to fix this socioeconomic situation, just understand we're going to have to deal with this hand by hand. We're going to have to deal with this with our bare hands. These people are putting out tremendous amounts of propaganda and in many cases outright lies. That's what they're doing. And they've shown you they're not going to stop. You just listen to Joe Biden sit up here and tell all of you, doing the same thing Barack Obama did, which tells you that their advisors are all saying the same thing. Just acknowledge Black people. Just acknowledge Black people. And that's it. In the chat room there, Tina A. So Tina A is asking, because Tina A does not look melanated, but that's perfectly fine. She says, if Joe Biden said today that he will give you reparations for your votes, would you believe him and vote for him? Well, that would certainly sound a hell of a lot better than what he's been saying. If he only said it once, no. Joe Biden would have a lot of work to do to convince me that he's actually sincere, because he wouldn't have to convince me that he wants my vote. He would have to convince me that he's actually going to follow through. Now, when he says he's going to do something for Israel, I believe he's going to follow through. And when he says he's going to do something for LGBT, I believe he's going to follow through. And when he says he's going to do something for non-citizens, I'm looking at his track record, Tina. So, Tina, I judge people by their actions. We take a look at his track record. We see his track record of the last 40 years and of the last 48 months. We've seen his track record. Do you see a track record of sincerely supporting reparations that he drops in at the last minute during an election year and says he would give us reparations? Have you seen a track record that makes you believe him, Tina? I want to know what Tina has seen that has convinced her that that's sincere. I'd like to know what that is. If you've seen it, that's what you would go off of, but I don't think you can give us anything that would cause us to believe it. Not at the last minute. Not at the last minute. First question would be, what the hell took you so long? So you show up in election year at the last minute? Oh, you need a bailout. Where have you been for the last 4 years? Where you been? So Tina, where has he been for the last 4 years? Hey, Tina, if somebody said that they were going to do something for white women 4 months before the election, they ignored you for 4 years, and we're going to do something for white women for the election 4 years before the election, would you be convinced? Well, he's denied us and denied it for the last 4 years, but he showed up 4 months before the election. I believe him now. Yeah, I think he's sincere. Okay, that's enough for me. Is that it? You'd be convinced? I also want you all to understand something else here. I'm very glad that Tina joined us tonight, and Tina is welcome to join us again tomorrow night. Very glad that she has, because I want you all to understand that we're being watched. That's my point. That's why I've acknowledged her super chat. We're being watched. We're being watched. We're being watched by everyone. We're being watched by the dominant society. We're being watched by the government. We're being watched by people of all stripes. We're being watched by people of all persuasions. We're being watched by people here. They want to know what we're doing and plugged in for here because they've never seen us get together as a group that wasn't called by a corporation or by a political party and establish our own agenda. This is new. This is radically new to them. Us organizing ourselves and leading our own discussion and not looking to them for what the standards should be. And oh yeah, sounding hella rational and hella strategic and hella sophisticated. They're not used to that. This is foreign. This is different. They're not used to us leading our own discussion and saying, yeah, I'm sophisticated enough to tell when a politician is not trustworthy. They're accustomed to a white person being able to walk in and take over the conversation and tell us what we're supposed to think and what we're supposed to accept and what we're supposed to believe. And then we're supposed to just take that as our marching orders and off we go. That if she tells us, well, hey, Biden's done enough for you, then we're supposed to just fall in line. That's what they've experienced their whole lives. I want you to understand that. When I started off the conversation talking about that. When I started off the conversation talking about that. I started off tonight's program talking about that and discussing that because I wanted you all to understand how that works. The civil rights generation and all these people have conditioned them to believe that this is the way we all are. That all you need is for one of them to show up and that we're all sitting around patiently waiting for our marching orders from them. That's what they've been conditioned to believe. After all this time, they've been conditioned, the old folks conditioned them to think that, yeah, we're all just waiting around for a white person to tell us what to think. We're waiting for white folks to approve of our position. That we're waiting for white society to give us the go-ahead to take the position that we do. Why do you all keep beating on that reparations thing? Why is it so important to you? Why can't you just take whatever crumbs or tokens that we flick off the table at you? Don't you know that they can see, hey, this is a shift. This is a change. It's been over a decade and a half in the making. Actually, 6 or 7 decades in the making if you want to go to its true roots. They thought we were going to give up. They thought we were going to lose interest. They thought we were all going to get bored and go home. That's what they thought was going to happen. That's what they thought was going to occur. And that's why they're here. Wow, y'all are really this serious about it? Y'all are really not letting this go. Well, your grandfathers and your grandmothers, they told us that we thought that y'all thought religion was the most important thing. Oh, we thought that you thought integration was the most important thing. So when you keep talking about economics, we keep thinking about your grandparents. When they said economics, they meant integration. But you all aren't talking about that. You're talking about empowerment, not integration. Well, that's kind of scary because you see, we were in charge of integrating you. What you're talking about now, we won't be in charge of. You will get to make your own decisions and you will get to decide your own destiny. And we can't corral you into being one of our tools of servitude anymore. Well, this is some scary talk you all are conducting over there. This is some scary talk you all are conducting. They're not accustomed to us talking about black economics and not talk. And when we say black economics, we don't mean a job. Do you understand that? I want you all to understand why Tina is over here monitoring us and responding right now. It's because in her experience with our elders, when they say black economics and black money, they mean getting a job. So when she hears Biden tell us, well, hey, we can do some job training for you Negroes, she's like, well, ain't that enough for you? Isn't that enough for you? And we're saying, no, that's not the way that works. No, we're not taking anybody's word for it. No, we have our own definition. We have our own ideas. We have our own standards. And we're going to be marching for ourselves now. And it's going to be a hard pill for a lot of folks to swallow, because you're hearing us define our demands on our own terms. And it sounds radically different from what you've traditionally been able to get the older generations to accept. This is radically different to them. And that's why I want y'all to understand, this is why it is so important that we support what we're doing in the new black media. If you've questioned yourself about whether or not what we do here on the Black Channel, whether or not what we do with our documentaries, whether or not what we do in our media efforts, if you're questioning whether or not it's actually effective, don't ask me, ask the dominant society. Now we're getting ready to kick it into overdrive. So Juneteenth ain't never gonna be the same. And I want all of you to join us here for tomorrow night. We are going to have a bit of a town hall meeting about black empowerment, black economics, dealing with sports in particular. We're going to have a discussion about not just about Caitlin Clark. More specifically, I want to discuss, what does Caitlin Clark have to do with us and our money that we're owed? I suggest you tune in here tomorrow night. We're going to have a hell of a discussion. It's going to be completely interactive here. All of you be able to join in. It's time to go ahead and kick off 8 a.m. going into the fall here. And by the way, I got more than a few surprises coming up. More than a few surprises. So keep your eyes and your ears open. We're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's program. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you for watching live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.